Good Wednesday evening. Welcome to BCP Live. Hi, I'm Joey McWilliams. It's been a little while since we've had a chance to talk live, so I am really excited to get to see you all tonight. Well, I know you get to see me. I may not get to see you. Yes, it is, but we're here in spirit. I am excited, and I'll just go right into my guest tonight. I am excited to get to welcome back to the program, back to the channel. I would even say friend of the channel, West Huggins, who is going to be in Bryan County next week. Wes, that can mean really only one thing, I think. I think
It
it
can.
means that the pro rodeo is back in town. Is that correct?
That is correct. You hit the nail on the head. It's so great to be here, and I know that when I get to be on your show, I know that it's Durant Rodeo coming right up. So that's it's kind of an alarm clock for you and I both of what's fixing to happen.
Well, and seriously, and I do say this seriously. It's a privilege to get to visit with you, and I don't mean that lightly, but I just enjoy it too. I mean, you're good at what you do, and we'll talk about that for just a moment. But you're just a good person too, and so you're
Thank you.
somebody that I really appreciate visiting with. Let's talk about what you do then, because
Yeah.
you announce these rodeos, and of course, you have become a fixture here in Durant in recent years.
Yeah, I've been with Durant for quite a few years now, and it's kind of funny to me that I really like to tell this story that we had when Durant Rodeo was a UPRA rodeo back in the day. I had a chance and a privilege to meet Ken Edelin and met him at the UPRA finals, and he had contacted me one time after the rodeo one time and was at the edge of the steps and said, "Come here, son, I want to talk to you." And I thought I maybe had said something wrong during the rodeo. And we sat down, him and Eric and everybody and their beautiful wives. And he said, "We want to do something big at Durant and we want you to be part of it." And it was amazing right then because I'd already heard about the Durant rodeo. And that kind of kicked off, in my opinion, a great relationship with me and the committee there at the Durant Riding Club. They have so many goals that they set, and each year they set them. And it's been amazing to watch this rodeo grow. Now it's one of the top PRCA rodeos. It's an award-winning PRCA rodeo in the Prairie Circuit. And it just comes from the hours of volunteers and the hard work that every single one of them have put together to do this. So I get to serve as the rodeo announcer. So I get to come in when all the sweat and everything's over, and which is always fun. But my job is to be the PRCA rodeo announcer for 2 days and try to help out as much as I can with the entertainment and the production of an award-winning rodeo. So it's quite an honor.
Well, I've seen what you do, or at least a part of what you do up there in the announcer's booth, and you bring some sweat and probably some blood along the way too, making sure everything's ready. I mean, there's a lot that goes into what you do, and I as a fellow broadcaster, in a sense, I know the behind the scenes work. It's the pre-production is really where the work comes in. The production, when you get to talk, like even what we're doing right now, this is the fun part.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's kind of hard that people there's even people in my own small circle that doesn't realize that all of us rodeo announcers, if we are doing our job correctly in our eyes, we feel like when we wake up in the morning, when we're in a town, our job is to start preparing for that 2-hour performance. Whether it's statistics on a cowboy or going through the production or analyzing what the night before happened and trying to piece all of these things together. One of my great friends, Mitch Terrell, used to say, "This is rodeo unrehearsed, but it's going to be a great show." And it is unrehearsed in a sense, but it takes so much planning to put one of these rodeos together. And there's so many moving parts nowadays to a rodeo.
Mm-hmm.
Just like at Durant, we have, first off, amazing stock. We have great rodeo clown. Ronald Burton comes. But we also have Omega Pro, Todd Greenway, and the crew that bring that amazing video company crew and screen that's part of production. We have a new sound man this year. He's returning. And Walker Huggins is back as the sound man this year. So that's part of production as well. And so all of those little moving parts all have to figure out how to work together. And you got to come up to the announcer stand and see how many cables and pens and papers and everything was strung out in that announcer stand. And it's so funny because people think, man, I guess y'all just start at 7:30 and you go. No, we do not start at 7:30. The show does, but we don't.
Well, and if I hope to get to come up and see you there again,
Absolutely.
do another video up there and get to talk with you sometime next week as well. Before I go any further, May 31st and June 1st, but it's not this Friday and Saturday, it is next Friday and Saturday, and we will be talking about that again here on BCP Live as the week goes on. That's not the only thing. Of course, Magnolia Festival is going to be next weekend as well. Do you ever get to stop by Magnolia Festival? Because I know that they go simultaneously, and I don't know if you've ever slipped over and seen what's happening not far away.
What we have done in the past is we've been able to see when they've shot off fireworks and things like that. And that's about all that we get to do as far as a production team, because we're going 90 miles an hour as soon as we hit to town. So it looks phenomenal. I mean, the whole thing, it's a really cool opportunity for everybody in your area, because I mean, you get the best of both worlds in 2 or 3 days, and there's not anything that anybody's going to miss out on unless you don't come to Durant. It's just kind of cool to me, what all goes on that week. So it's a good opportunity.
So much happening in Bryan County, and the summer is just getting started. I mean, we're not even to Memorial Day yet, which is coming up this Monday, Memorial Day weekend, by the way. And we do want to, we always want to recognize and remember those who have served and who have literally given their all for us to be able to live in a country like we do. And I'm very thankful for that. And I don't want to just gloss over it, just to say, it is a big deal. Well, before I go any further, because I promised one Susan Edlin that if I said nothing else tonight,
that's right,
nothing at all tonight, West, if you and I just got up here and stared at the camera and didn't say another thing, I want to let people know that Susie McIntyre is going to be in Bryan County at the rodeo, and she's going to be singing Star Spangled Banner both nights.
That is an amazing opportunity. And that is so cool to me, because the whole McIntyre family is a phenomenon, and especially in our industry, they're not even just country music singers or Christian singers. They're also rodeo stars. And it's been, when Susan and those folks told me that was going to happen, I'm excited. There is no prettier national anthem than a McIntyre. I'm just going to say it right now on the show. And Susie does a phenomenal job singing it. So it's going to be awesome.
Well, I intend to hear it one night, if not both. And by the way, I will drop this there. Susan is in the house and wants to let everyone know that West is the man. So I'm not going to disagree with that at all. I think that's fair. Definitely.
When we said Susan, I had to make sure to get my phone handy, because I told her, I said, you text me if I miss something tonight. So I thought I'd go ahead and put my phone here just to be safe.
There we go. Well, hey, listen, and there is one other thing, and I know this may sound funny, and it may even sound trivial, but it's not. New bathrooms in the facility at the Riding Club Arena.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. There's a lot of committees, and I kind of got to say it this way, because this is the truth. There's a lot of rodeos in America right now that are kind of wondering, hey, where's our sponsors? What's going on? We're kind of losing a few, or some rodeos are having trouble getting the momentum that they've had in the last few years. And I don't know economy, I don't know what it is, but when we talk to Durant, there is people still calling, wanting to be part of this rodeo. With that came an opportunity that they ran into, where they had so many items donated to build a brand new set of restrooms. And if you're a family, you've got young kids, anything like that, if you're like me and you have a wife, a restroom is a very important thing to have. And so, and it's, to me, it's kind of another one of those deals that Durant has gone above and beyond. And every year there's something new that's coming over there.
Well, it's, like I said, it sounds trivial, but it's really not. Having kids, I have grandkids now too, but taking them to events like this, outdoor events like this. Right. And by the way, you've been there when the weather has decided not to necessarily cooperate as much. Those they seem like minor things. They are big things. So shout out to the Riding Club Arena and to everyone involved for new facilities within the facility. Now, this starts 7:30 nightly on Friday and Saturday. I know there's slack going on before and around that. prior to that. But then the evening event comes up, and one of the big deals too is the fact that there are going to be a lot of folks riding bulls
Yes,
next weekend as well. More than
correct.
50 signed up. Is that correct?
Correct. That is correct. As of right now, there were 52 PRCA bull riders that added this to their list to come to this year. When other rodeos are struggling to fill a performance, we're at a pivotal point right now that we're trying to figure out how are we going to fit all this in the show, and which is an amazing. I mean, it's a good problem to have. Not only that, there is 32 bucking horse riders that are entered up, and since the PRCA has been part of our rodeo there at Durant, this is, I could say now, this is a record of entries. The timed events look great. This is becoming one of those spots that people are wanting to come to. When we very first started talking about the PRCA even coming to Durant, one of the very first things that we wanted to remind everybody is that the road to the National Finals Rodeo now comes through Durant. And now it's catching on that this is one of the spots. They've increased their added money at Durant. They have tried to reach out more contestants. The other thing, if any rodeo contestants that are entered are listening, if you're up during a slack, Durant Riding Club is now even offering breakfast during those morning slacks to our contestants. And, those are those little things that make people want to come back. Hospitality is a big deal nowadays because it's not there anymore. So it's just so cool that Durant says, hey, we're going to do something and we're going to knock it out of the park. And they really are.
So cool. That it really is. And it makes a difference. And those are things that people remember. They really do. They remember that. And I know, I won't put you in my age bracket necessarily, West, but I think we're both old enough to recognize that something like that makes all the difference in the world. And
absolutely.
Shout out to Jeff Edlin, by the way. You may see down there at the bottom of your screen there, West. He's watching tonight. At least he's watching for a moment. I don't know. We hope he sticks around and watches the rest of it. But look forward to getting to see him there and maybe even get another interview. Sometimes he's a little reticent on that. But
have you ever heard his West Huggins impression? Next time you talk to him, he does a really good West Huggins impersonation.
Okay, we'll have to get.
He didn't know that I see that, but I saw it.
Well, imitation that is the sincerest form of flattery. That's what I've heard. Now, when my wife imitates me, I don't know if she's flattering me or not. I think sometimes that's just mocking, but we'll talk about that another time. Talked about 7:30 start time each night. And by the way, shout out to everyone watching. Thank you for watching here. If you're watching the live version tonight, please let us know from where you're watching, Bryan County or beyond. And if you're watching the recorded version, as many of you all do nowadays, thank you for watching this long. And we'll make good use of your time here. 7:30 nightly. And Wes, do you know where people can get tickets in advance? Because
I do know
the best way to do it.
Actually, it is. You can save you some money if you get your tickets in advance. You can go to Bo Cheetah Tag Office. You can go to Copper Kettle, the kitchen store there in Durant. You can go to the Durant Area Chamber of Commerce. And you can also go to Frost Ranchwear and get your tickets in advance. And you save, if I'm not mistaken, I think you save about almost $5 if you get them in advance. Now, when you get to the gate the day of the show or online, they're up to $15. Kids 12 and under are free. And if I'm not mistaken, there's also a little Choctaw Casino and Resorts free play on some of those tickets. And big shout out to those folks. But, when you've got a family, it's still, even at $15, if you're there a little late, it's hard to go and find great entertainment for $15 a person. Plus great food, drinks, everything like that. And that's the outdoor atmosphere and really hometown entertainment with great pro rodeo cowboys that come through. Not only that, as I've already said him once, but one of my great friends, Ronald Burton, will be there, rodeo clown. And, he is one of the coolest and easiest guys to work with, but he's also very family friendly And but he's also extremely funny for all ages, and that's also hard to find nowadays. A lot of them go one way or the other, and Ronald is right there in the big middle of it. And I love working with him, and I think every family will love to listen to him.
Well,
So,
I appreciate it. I enjoy all that's going on out there in the arena. The atmosphere, I believe, is fantastic. Lots of good folks from around Bryan County and beyond, because there are people who are coming in to Bryan County, to Durant, to watch this rodeo and be a part of it. And, I mentioned briefly Magnolia Fest. I'll talk about that more next week and more, because we're going to have a lot more videos coming up in the next couple of weeks. It's been I've been away broadcasting for a while. Nice to be back in Bryan County to do that. And I say just a little bit on Magnolia Festival, but the atmosphere is good. The people are great. The food is great. The new facilities are great. New VIP facility for some of the contestants as well over on the west side of the arena too. I mean, everything about this is good, and I could go on and on and on, watching and listening and listening to you. Fantastic, Wes. You talked about Todd and the group with the video. I mean, top-notch production. There's not a weak link in any of it. So
there's not. There really isn't. That's the thing about it, is there's always a weak link somewhere. We haven't defined where it is at Durant. Right now, everybody's rocking and rolling, and I know that if they're all listening right now, they're going to say, well, we're a little weak right now. We've been working hard to get this thing going. But the thing is it always pays off, and that arena looks so good when all those banners and everything come in. And, and I'm real big about this, that I look really hard at rodeo banners, especially in my local area. If people that support a rodeo like that, that's the place I'm supporting, just like everybody does with baseball and football, and so all of those sponsors that really don't have to give to bring rodeo back, they do. And I think that that's very important, that we realize who all comes through. And, that there's always those opportunities in this rodeo to get bigger. And there's always a goal. And that's what I like watching, is everybody, if anybody out there has been ever since day one of the pro rodeo, you can already see a change on how big this thing is getting. And we just keep getting bigger crowd wise every year. It's fun to watch. It really is fun to watch on my side. And when we get done and we always buck that last bull, there's that 2 or 3 minutes that you just put the mic down and you just kind of watch and you just kind of study. And it's just so cool to watch those families that are still cheering and wanting more. And that feels good on a production side.
Well, I appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you there in, it's less than 2 weeks, actually less than a week and a half at this point, May 31st and June 1st, 2024, 7 p.m. nightly. Of course, Slack as well, that goes on peripherally around that over the course of the weekend too, and there's just a lot happening. West, I'm gonna sign off. Want to thank you, by the way, for your time and spending this Wednesday night. The live version, again, if you're watching tonight, thank you for watching. You're watching the recorded version, and you're still with us. You are an absolute trooper, and I really appreciate that as well. I'll give my normal outro here in a second, but let me give you the last word on the rodeo.
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
I'll give you my normal. I'll give everyone the normal outro, but in just a moment. But I wanted to give you the last word on the rodeo.
Hey, the last word on the rodeo is, if you don't come, you're missing out. That is the thing to remember, is you don't want to have that fear of missing out. So in my favorite rodeo voice, if I can do it, I know I don't have my cool microphone because Bryan already brought that to my attention. I don't have my cool rodeo announcer voice microphone, but I want to remind everybody, like he just said, May 31st, June 1st, 7:30 p.m. nightly. A big thank you to Choctaw Casino and Resort, Steubenville Chevrolet, Discover Durant, 360 Broadband, and Lane Frost Brand. They are our top guys that are bringing that rodeo. United Pro Rodeo Company, he's coming back home. Danny Reagan and the crew, they've been to the NFR, they've been to the Cheyenne Frontier Days, they're all over the place, and they're stopping back in Durant. We want you to come, not only for us, but we want you to welcome Susie McIntyre. Welcome back Walker Huggins, our PRCA sound man, Todd Greenway, Ronald Burton. All the crew is going to be there. if you don't come, I don't want to hear about it on Sunday when you say I missed out. So, but you got to come and listen. And Bryan will be out there with us in the announcer stand before the rodeo at least twice. We're just going to let you have a mic this year and just go with it.
Well, I have to tell you, by the way, you did something that I enjoy too. And I always love giving a shout out to all the crew. I mean, because it's such production like this, there's so many moving pieces and so many parts and so many roles to play. And it's tough to get them all in, but giving you a chance to talk about that, I think you do a great job. Wes Huggins, who is the announcer for the Durant Riding Club Rodeo, the Pro Rodeo, which is going to be in town this next weekend. So I want to tell everyone you need to come. And also, let me remind you tonight, lots more video on the way on BCP Live and also on the Bryan County Patriot, the Facebook page, the YouTube channel, and more. There are so many things happening in Bryan County right now. It absolutely is amazing. And I was talking with Mrs. Patriot about this earlier today. And we're just getting back from some broadcasts and going out doing some sports, coming back in. The youngest, the twins are seniors now. It's amazing. We're looking at this point in our life and thinking, a lot to do this summer. Bryan County has the need filled. If you need anything to do, there's so much going on, and we're going to talk about it right here on the Bryan County Patriot. So may I remind you in closing, there are 3 things that you ought to be doing with your life, I think, all the time, because it'll make things go better. Number 1, be wise. And if you don't feel like you have wisdom, the Bible says in James chapter 1, ask God, he would give you wisdom, and all you have to do is ask. Number 2 is that you should walk in love. It's not always the easiest thing to do. I promise when that person cuts you off in traffic, usually it's not the first thing that you think of is to love them or forgive them, but I'm telling you it's the best thing to do. Walk in love. And number 3, do not walk in fear. I gave you 2 things to do. This is one thing not to do. Don't walk in fear, because the national media and lots of other folks are going to give you reasons to be afraid on a daily basis. Don't buy into it. Now, you can have respect for a situation without being afraid of it at the same time. So I encourage you to be respectful of the things that are going around you, but don't do it fearfully. Be wise, walk in love, don't walk in fear. And for Wes Huggins, I'm Joey McWilliams. Thank you so much for being here tonight. We're going to see Wes next week right here in Bryan County. God bless you all. You guys have a great, great night, and thanks for watching.